plays well today, it gives these fighting Blue Hens a fighting chance.
He took over at quarterback in week 1 after an injury to Zach Marker, who won a coin flip competition in camp. Incomplete on first down. Keaton Wade from the edge sped up the timer. It is second down for this Delaware Fighting Blue Hens offense. And Finton Brose in the middle of that line is a rugged dude.
Yeah, a rugged dude that the coaches said if you get into a bar fight, you want to make sure this guy is there with you and he's on your side.
Skill position players, you may remember the name Jake Thaw, the transfer from Michigan, who recovered that muff punt a couple of years ago against Alabama in the college football playoff, and a big moment for him. It's a run for Delaware, and it goes for 10.5. It's Joe Silver right through the Colorado defense, which saw Georgia Tech, a very difficult team to deal with. That middle is big.
It is big, and you talk about Anquin Barnes there, number 92. They're going to have to be stout at the point of attack. And these linebackers, they're going to play 4 of them today to see who can fit the run the best. And on the outside, DJ McKinney is an NFL-level corner with elite ball skills.
He's got an interception in 3 of his last 4 games dating back to last year. Minicucci wants a deep shot. They figure they'll take maybe double-figure deep shots today. It's a very aggressive head coach, Carty, who is an inventive play caller on that Delaware sideline.
Yeah, some of the most fun I've had watching tape this past week was watching this Delaware Blue Hen offense. Ryan Carty knows how to isolate matchups and create unique ways for his quarterbacks to process quickly. Right there for Minicucci, he just needs to keep the ball in bounds and give his guy a chance.
As a former Delaware quarterback himself, part of a national championship team 22 years ago. This is a handoff for Silver, picking his way and breaking tackles for a gain of 2.5. So 3rd and long coming up for this Colorado defense, which had some questions at the linebacker spot after facing Georgia Tech. A tough week 1 opponent, to be fair.
Yeah, and Georgia Tech is very unique in what they do and how they attack you. But it's very smart for Delaware to not abandon the run, even though their identity is more in the passing game. But for those Colorado linebackers, they just got to trust what they see. See the hole, fill the hole, see the guy, get the guy to the ground.
Carter Stoutmeyer comes up to the line. He will rush the quarterback. Minicucci over the middle. He's got a first down into Colorado territory. It's Jake Thaw, who Ryan Carty said he was the one guy I wanted in his class. He got him first down.
Yeah, Jake Thaw, you're going to see this play out. When they blitz the backer, that inside zone is wide open. He makes the catch. Boom, moves the chains. They're going to be working him for the entire day. Boom, look at that. Put some sauce on it, huh, Jason?
I know you loved how he talked about getting open.
Yeah, he talked about if a guy is on his line, he's going to get him off it. If he's not where he wants to be, he's going to bring him to him. And if he's where he wants to be, he's going to keep him where he's at. And I look forward to showing you guys that throughout this broadcast.
Saw it right there. Jake Thaw gets a first down for the Blue Hens. Minicucci is very willing to run, and he is dropped at the 50-yard line. Martavius French, who had 2 fumble recoveries early last week, takes him down.
Yeah, and you're going to see French right here in the middle of your screen. His eyes are only on the quarterback. They got hurt with the quarterback run in the last week. They're not going to let that happen this week. They understand that Minicucci is not afraid to run the football. They just can't give him open space to go out and get jiggy with it.
2nd and 14. It's a run. Not a whole lot of space to do anything there. It's 3rd down and 14. Arden Walker, they have high hopes for these edges. Walker and Wade among others for Colorado.
Yeah, and they've told us in our meetings, defensive coordinator Robert Livingston said, we need more production from our edges. We know up the middle that we're pretty stout, but we need these guys to come out, create pressure on the quarterback, and shut down the run as well. So we'll see if they can do that today.
Minicucci 3rd and forever. It's another deep shot. It is blanketed. Incomplete. He wanted Nick LeBoy, and tremendous coverage down the sideline for R.J. Johnson and Alexa.
And this is going to be the story of the day. Right here, R.J. Johnson, he only has one guy, and it's LeBoy. And he makes sure that he gives the quarterback no room to make this throw. This is going to be a matchup that we're going to see across the board, from the nickel to the corner positions with the wideouts. Colorado just believes they're better than Delaware's skill guys, so it's going to be a lot of man coverage. If Delaware cannot win the one-on-ones, it's going to be a long day.
Got to flip the field here. Brendan Locke is the punter, and he sets up the Buffaloes at the 12-yard.
Both of those things, they've been dead last in that category the last 2 seasons, off to a great start in game 1, and it all begins behind their big man up front, Jordan Seaton, the big dog left tackle. He wants to show he's the best out there on the field, JB.
Yeah, Deion Sanders calls him the franchise. They'll run to the right, and that's a big hit on Micah Welch, who gets twisted down by Noah Matthews. Okay, so Caden Salter for the first couple of series here is the plan. Deion Sanders mentioned maybe trying to show he can pass a little bit more than he needs to.
Yeah, it's a conundrum quarterbacks get into. Trying to play quarterback and show they can get it done from the pocket, and they lose their elite trait. His elite trait is his legs, and he's got to use them today.
He throws it here. That's a screen that was gummed up, but he got it away to Sincere Brown. Big block on the outside as Brown ends up with a first down.
You're going to watch. He's trying to throw it to this inside receiver here, and eventually, because this guy gets hit, the other receiver catches the ball. I mean, sometimes it's good to be lucky.
Draylon Miller got wiped out.
Well, first of all, the receiver has to protect his boy. We call it take care of your boy, help a brother out, get the block. But like you said, Sincere caught one there.
That was a general vicinity first down. Salter over the middle. He's got it to the tight end, Zach Atkins, the junior out of the state of Kansas. And the Colorado offensive line revamped this year. Seaton is the holdover, and boy, he is very NFL draftable.
Oh, yeah, this guy will be a top 10 pick in a couple of years. Jordan Seaton, and then you got Draylon Miller, who the coaches compared to Deebo Samuel in his body build and his ability to move all around the formation. So look for them to have him in the backfield, in the slot, and out wide today.
They have some great pass-catching options out of the backfield, including DeKalen Taylor, who had the opening touchdown last week. This is another throw on a screen, and they've got it across the 35-yard line for Isaiah Harge. And it's a first down, Buffaloes.
Yeah, and this is what it's supposed to look like. Receiver goes there. You're going to have the outside receiver either come in or stay outside and block the corner. It's just a read game for the quarterback. If that nickel comes into the box, you throw the bubble. If nobody goes, I throws.
Here's a run, and it's Salter getting outside. What do you think of the play calling so far against this Delaware defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think Colorado's coming out and saying we want to run the football, and it's because up front, when you look at the Fighting Blue Hens defense in this 3-3-5 structure, they're going to try to force you to run them into different coverages. Dylan Traynor, their leader on defense at the linebacker position, and then you have KT Say at safety, who had an interception last week, has been a massive communicator for this defense in getting everybody aligned.
Here's the guy wearing the green dot helmet to communicate with the sideline. Here's another quick hitter. It's Joseph Williams, and he is drilled by Hassan Manning Jr. It's a gain of 6, but he felt it.
Oh, Hassan Manning Jr. picked this man up like it was WWE. Now that's what you call a form tackle. Near foot, near shoulder. Let him know you're there, young fella.
Who you got? You got John Cena. Who you got?
I mean, did you see
Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes. I'm a Cody Rhodes fan. But you know, Roman Reigns, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Ooh, old school. You call that old school now? Third down. It's another throw, and it's Joseph Williams, who bounces right back for a Buffalo first down to the 47 in Delaware territory.
They're doing a good job right now, Jason, of getting Caden Salter in a rhythm. Simple pass plays. They ran that play earlier on an earlier down. He sees it, he makes the throw, hit 2 different guys on the same pass play. That's how you know he's starting to get into a little bit of a groove.
Short sets, quick throws. He has Taylor, the tailback, and they will hand it that direction. Taylor had a bit of room, and then that was closed quickly by Hunter as he was running behind Chrysler. We talked to Coach Prime. He's on the journey. He must have said journey 12 times.
Yes.
Coaching staff said journey 12 other times.
Yes.
They got to figure it out, though, real soon, because Big 12 play starts next week somehow.
The journey is the journey of finding out who they are, absent of Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter.
It's an interesting time for the Buffaloes as there's another quick hitter to the sideline at Harge. You can feel the loss for Coach Sanders himself with his son not being in the room anymore, Shadur and Shiloh.
Yeah, Jason, he's never had to coach without his son being present. So that is something that he is dealing with emotionally and mentally as well.
Salter to run behind Taylor. He gets pass outside. It is Salter tiptoeing across the 25. Boy, this has been a showcase of decisiveness so far for Salter in the offense.
I love it. This is what makes him an elite player. He's going to come around, and the running back's actually going to come around after the fake and block for him as well. Hey, the bubble's not there. Go out there and do your thing, young man. Receiver comes in, Isaiah Harge, and gives him a block down the field.
Taylor across the 15. Well, Alexis said it right off the top. This is a team that averaged about 5 yards a carry last week. They were second lowest run rate in all of the FBS the last 2 years.
Last week, they just made it too hard on themselves, Jason. When they were running the football effectively, they went away from it. And now you look at it to the last week, 31 carries, 146 yards, and 4 yards a carry. Look at what they did before that. They were a pass-happy offense. They're changing their identity in real time.
Another run that is bottled up. Welch leans forward to the 14, and that's all. That's Kayshawn Cox Jr. in his 11th career game for Delaware to set up third down. There's a marker in as well, all the way back at the 5. Clock is still moving. It shouldn't be.
Illegal substitution. Number 98, defense, didn't get off the field before the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
It's Nick Carica, the transfer from Wagner for Delaware. They should put time back on the clock here. I think they lost maybe 10, 15 seconds while that was being adjudicated, but looks like they're not gonna. No,
they are not paying attention to that at all, Jason.
Yet another run. Touchdown! Caden Salter leaning for the pylon. Decisiveness all drive long for Salter and the Buffalo offense. Exactly what they wanted.
And it's all off of the run action. They're going to leak this tight end out into the flat off of the play action boot. He gets tied up a little bit, and this is what they're talking about. Caden Salter, use your legs. Dive into the end zone, brother. They want to see more of him attacking, and this drive, he did just that.
He was the guy that led Liberty to the Fiesta Bowl a couple of years ago with that sort of multifaceted threat, as the extra point is good for Alejandro.
He definitely played like it. Came out with a chip on his shoulder to show everybody here, I am the guy that you brought in for me to be. And I know it's against Delaware, but guess what? With this team trying to find their identity, they'll take it.
To the end zone and through. It's a touchback that will make Deion Sanders very happy. Time now for Three's Keys, part of Geico. Get more game plan. Geico, switch and save. Get more with Geico. What you got?
Yes, today for Delaware, they've got to be like Rocky Balboa in round 1. Survive the surge. That first quarter, if it's a one-score game at the end of this quarter, they have a fighting chance. For Colorado, it's grinding. Own the line of scrimmage, impose your will, and run the football. And for both of them, it's wax on, wax off. It's all about the fundamentals of tackling. Both of these teams missed 5+ tackles last week. They have to tackle. The better tackling team today will win the game.
Did you just watch a bunch of 80s movies last night? Is that what happened?
And I was born in the 90s.
It's a first down run on a jet sweep. And Delaware gets out to the 34-yard line on that run for Nick Tyree, the sophomore out of the state of Virginia. Delaware, as we said, is a very inventive play-calling team. You notice that they're running some more quick stuff than they typically have in the past in their pass game.
And we talked to Ryan Carty about that, and he said they made a concentrated effort to do that because they knew with the move up, the line play was going to be the discrepancy for them, so they had to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands.
Byron Ellison Jr. with a first down run into the freshman Brandon Davis-Swain. You just saw Martavius French come off the field for Colorado in that linebacker spot. They have a 4-man rotation there.
Yeah, you're going to see Sean Myers, number 40, and Jeremiah Brown, number 42, mixing in at the linebacker spot. They had a couple big gashes in that first drive against this Delaware football team. They want their linebackers to fill the run and go make plays, and they're trying to figure out who those two guys are.
They'll snap it to Silver, and he will run it himself. There is some of that right brain thinking about play calling against Rob Livingston, who just what he needs a play caller like this after facing Georgia Tech and their run game in the first week.
Exactly. He knows both of these teams are so unique that they're going to show you some stuff that you didn't really see on film. Right there, we didn't see a ton of direct snap to the running back, read the quarterback type of plays. But that's why you have to teach your defense the fundamentals, and they're going to simplify the defense today, allow their guys to go out and play fast.
Off the motion from Thaw, the former Michigan Wolverine. Minicucci to throw. He's got Silver dancing for a first down for Delaware. This is their first game against an FBS team as an FBS program for the Fighting Blue Hens.
Yeah, and they're going to bring the receiver in motion and just get the back out into the flat. The defense isn't worried about it. They're lifting the coverage because they're in zone. And Minicucci takes the proper throw. Sometimes taking the check down is the best throw you can make on the field.
Shovel pass. Silver gets bronzed by Colorado's Arden Walker.
You see what you did there. That was good.
Do you think it's gold?
I think it was gold.
Look, this Delaware team, talking to Ryan Carty, their head coach last night, he said, look, there have been times where we've played up in the past when I've been the head coach here that I felt some tension in the room. They're the opposite of that right now, referring to last night's team meeting. They feel like they can be very competitive in this game. Minicucci on the run, trying to get to the edge. He does, and he's ushered out of bounds after a gain of 2 by that linebacker you're talking about, Jeremiah Brown, so it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, and when you talk to Ryan Carty, it was a feeling of, yeah, they've played up in the past, and now they're at the Division I level. I talked to him before the game, and I said, well, this is no different than you guys playing up one time throughout the year. You're just going against a Colorado team that has a lot of eyes on them, and this could be a big opportunity for his guys who feel underappreciated in the recruiting process to make a statement.
If there's one thought surrounding this team, it's underappreciation at points in their careers. Minicucci throwing across his body and incomplete. Big collision at the 40-yard line with Silver, who got decked. That was Makari Vickers, who refers to himself as Seatbelt, and he was strapped in.
Yeah, a lot of movement up front, but they're going to bring the backside tight end all the way across the formation. He's covered. Minicucci makes the right throw, and if you're Joe Silver, you got to make it gold and make that play to keep your team on the field. Good throw by Minicucci, but even better hit there by the Colorado defense.
Delaware feels like they've got to value possessions when they have the opportunity. College football is rampant with 4th down goes so far this year. 4th down and 7 for the Fighting Blue Hens. Minicucci throws a little off target, incomplete for Thaw, and the Buffaloes will take over. It was there and just missed.
Oh, man, they had Jake Thaw wide open. Great play call. They get Jake Thaw in motion, and then what they're going to end up doing is doing a switch release, getting him to run outside and cut back in, forcing the DB to go over the top. You see it as it plays out. DB has to go over the top of the other one. Boom, he cuts back inside, wide open. If you're Delaware, you have to hit those opportunities when you get them.
That's an extra possession, and Colorado will have it across midfield to Hakeem Williams. Look, college football all year. Last week, week 0 combined, it's the most fourth down attempts in the last 10 years at least.
It's changed the game of football altogether. It's creeping into the NFL as well. The more guys go for 4th down, the more the 3rd down metrics are going to actually start to be skewed because they're using 3rd down as a way to get to a shorter 4th down now, which wasn't always the case in years past.
Yeah, it's 2 plays to get the yardage instead of just 1. Salter stepping up. He'll roll to his right. Salter looking upfield and throwing incomplete. Too much for Williams, who was standing alone deep in Delaware territory.
Oh, guys, and this is the thing. When he's making this scramble, you're going to see him. We're going to watch him get the stiff arm. He's got Williams wide open on the sideline. He got to make that throw. But if you go back to the other angle, you'll see how much space he had. He could have just ran for 30 yards there if he just had his mindset of, I am going to just play football here. Play football. Don't try to play quarterback.
Like he did on the first drive, wouldn't you say?
Exactly.
3rd down and 5. Price the tailback for the Buffaloes. Delaware walked up to the line, and we have a marker coming in. Oh, timeout. Timeout, Colorado.
Before the flag was thrown, timeout, Colorado. Their first of the half. Media timeout.
So a third down. Look at what was available to Salter.
Yeah, you see Salter as he comes out of this play, his eyes are on the sideline, but I want you guys to see just how much space he has on this field to go and run the football.
Free runner coming at him. It's Williams on a first down. Anthony Crenshaw in his first career start was blitzing on Salter, got the hit in, and still a catch.
And you'll see the pressure comes off of the right edge. Salter makes sure he gets the ball out on time. He can feel that. He knows that that man on the inline of scrimmage is his responsibility.
Another quick hitter. It's Harge this time. He'll cut inside. Here's a guy who told us, I've always been the little guy in the room, and I don't care, basically.
Exactly. They call him Mr. Consistent. Never late, never complains. This guy's not just a two-way player. He's a three-way player. He plays offense, he plays defense, and he plays special teams. He's a guy that they believe they can rely on.
It's another run. It's to Kalen Taylor to set up third down. You mean versatile players in Colorado? Like
what?
The nickname Slash.
Oh my
comes
gosh.
to mind from back in the 90s. Travis Hunter, whose jersey number is retired now, off to the NFL with Jacksonville.
Yes. And I think when you look at Deion Sanders and when he talked about Isaiah Harge, they just love the person that he is. He's a leader on this team, a guy that they know is going to be where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there. And it's good to see him getting some action early here on offense.
3rd and 2. Play call is a pass. He'll drop it off for Price and take what's there. It's a first down for the Buffaloes across the 30-yard line.
Well, Coach Prime, your offense scored on your first possession. What have you liked from your team start here today?
Consistency. We're running the ball. We mixed it in the throw. Pat is calling it a heck of a game. Defensively, we just came up with a tremendous stop, and our special teams, we're doing our thing. We just got to score on this one, and your outfit is killing the game right now.
Thank you. I feel like I could be loud on the Colorado sideline.
Go, girl.
Hey, you told us yesterday that Juju would come in the 3rd series. Is that still the plan right now?
I cried to you before I lied to you. He's coming around the mountain when he comes.
Thanks, Coach.
Seamless 10 out of 10 reaction by Alexa.
100%.
Like, thank you, next question.
Exactly.
Amazing. First down for the Buffaloes, just their second run of the drive, Simeon Price, and they're doing that, running the ball pretty well with this team comparison sponsored by IHG Hotels and Resorts because of this.
Yeah. A over 50-pound weight advantage for the Colorado offensive line. They're going to try to lean on this Delaware defensive line for the entirety of the game. They can't abandon that running game. It's been good to them so far and was last week.
Very balanced on the opening drive. This is a shovel pass, and he's got it for Taylor. To Kalen Taylor, who is such a weapon out of Incarnate Word. 32 games there. He started as a slot receiver, turned running back here. They're going to use him a lot of ways this season.
Yeah, they used him out of the backfield in the passing game week 1 against Georgia Tech. They believe he is a guy that they need to have the ball in his hands. And I just love when we do something in the open, Jason, and it shows up in the game. Triple option, giving the quarterback the option to do 3 different things. And this is where Caden Salter is the most comfortable.
He'll throw. He's got time. That's down the middle into major gridlock, and it is incomplete. Too much for Miller in the back of the end zone, second down. By the way, you spy Marshall Faulk over on the sideline. There are 3 Pro Football Hall of Famers on the Buffalo sideline.
Deion wants his coaches to be guys that can relate to the players, understand the mindset of a player. And he said, if you play running back here at Colorado, you can't just run and hit the hole. You got to know why you hit the hole, know the angle you need to get to hit that hole, and you got to be smart because that's the kind of player that Marshall Faulk was.
A great pass catcher. I mean, you see what they're doing with Taylor, and it's reminiscent just in the way they use him. Here's a drag route for Sincere Brown, who squeals the brakes on a cutback. And he's down to the 10, 3rd down Buffaloes. So 3rd down with Salter's skill set. What do you like here?
I just love what they have been doing. You brought Sincere Brown on a motion there, ran him underneath to the other side of the formation. It just continues to make the defense be confused. But I want you guys to watch Draylon Miller here. He's right here in the slot. This is their guy that they want to get the ball to on 3rd downs.
Salter looks to his right, throws to his right, incomplete for the tight end, Atkins. And it's 4th down.
Oh, I circled the guy for a reason, Jason, and he was open, but we're going to show you the tight end action here. He's going to run a corner route, and it's not blanketed, but you got to throw a big boy ball for him. Give him one right on the outside number, make that catch. But he had Draylon Miller wide open across the middle of the field with the backside safety covering him from 5 yards away.
There was no coverage over top of him at the line. There was a linebacker near him, but no defensive back. Alejandro Mata from 28 yards away makes it a 2-score game for the Buffaloes.
My lips were white. There's no preparing for this.
Really?
My lips were white, chapped. I needed chapstick, everything you could possibly imagine, and I couldn't breathe.
Maybe you should have talked to Nick Minicucci, the Delaware quarterback, who didn't know you at the time. But he had a system to try and get acclimated, Alexa.
Yeah, that's right, JB. A little bit different than Delaware. Nick Minicucci, a detail-oriented guy. He said, I'm not going to lie, I went on Amazon, ordered myself a little workout mask. He didn't practice in this mask, but he watched film, sat on the couch with it, set it to the altitude level that Colorado is. He said the best way to describe it is like you have a bad cold, you're a little bit congested, hard to breathe. RG3, you mentioned a tough place to play, but these guys did everything they could to get ready for the matchup.
You never in production meetings hear the phrase one nostril. But we did this week. Minicucci on the run gets absolutely crushed. Jeremiah Brown with a big hit. He lost his helmet as he was leveled.
Ooh.
Number 4's helmet came off. He must leave the game for one play.
And you'll see it was a double hit, right? Jeremiah Brown, ooh, French, and then the defensive lineman too. I see a little push there at the end. Getting a little physical, trying to let him know he's there, but my goodness. Shot to the head, bent the back backwards. Hey, man, that mask ain't going to get you ready for that kind of physicalness.
There is nothing that can get you ready. Nothing you can at least buy online that will get you ready for that. Braden Streeter, the freshman out of Franklin, Tennessee, gets his first touch, and it's a handoff for Silver, who's swarmed under by the senior Amari McNeil, and it's third down coming up. Minicucci has his helmet in hand as he comes onto the field.
Good scouting there by defensive coordinator Robert Livingston. He knows that Braden Streeter is more of the runner. He had Keaton Wade sit outside on his read and not crash down on that run fake.
And you figure they're not going to really take a big shot with the second quarterback in. It's third down and 9. Big moment for Delaware. First year at the FBS level. It's a free runner and a drop for Raymond. Keaton Wade was bearing down on him. There's a marker in, Robert.
Yeah, that's going to be a flag.
Illegal shift. Illegal shift.
We heard you.
Illegal shift. 2 men in motion on the offense and not resetting. The penalty is declined. Results in a 4th down.
Look, you see Minicucci with his helmet off. Even Rob Livingston, the defensive coordinator for the Buffaloes, said, hey, that guy's a Don Bosco kid. We saw it on tape last week. He basically headbutted the goal line to get into the end zone. He knows what kind of toughness you're dealing with here.
He's a tough son of a gun. Right now, they are beating them up a little bit. He's not being as accurate as he would like to be throwing the football down the field. But that's exactly what Colorado wanted to do coming into this game. Make him uncomfortable, make them have to beat man coverage. And that was a big possession because they needed to try to show that they could actually move the ball down the field and go get some points. Now their defense is going to have to come up big.
We haven't seen a shot play in a while either for Delaware. Locke with a booming kick and a fair catch, oddly enough.
He believes he can be the quarterback of the future.
His first play is a handoff. It is Price crashing across the 50 and a hurdle to the moon.
That's how you give the fans what they want to see. Bringing him across the formation, getting this run, being patient, and then it's off to the races. Listen, man, I can appreciate a good hurdle. But that time, he got caught in midair. I love the enthusiasm, but hey, man, make sure you protect yourself next time.
29 yards downfield, 5 yards in the air. It's 34 total. And the first throw for Julian Lewis is to Quentin Gibson, and Delaware isn't really into drama. Hassan Manning Jr. absolutely stonewalls it.
Yeah, get an easy, nice first completion. When we talked to offensive coordinator Pat Shermer for Colorado, he said, I want to give these guys bubbles and hitches. give them opportunities to see the ball completed so they can get in rhythm. And I can't tell you how much that means to not just a young quarterback, but any quarterback.
Julian Lewis on the roll. His throw to the sideline is complete to the 39-yard line. Quentin Gibson, who they think very highly of, a 4-star recruit over there. And Lewis is feeling good.
Oh, I love the moving of the pocket. You talk about Quentin Gibson. This guy wasn't recruited as a freshman in high school, a sophomore, or a junior. But then his senior year, he went off for 2,000 yards and 36 touchdowns. They know that with Juju Lewis and Quentin Gibson, they might have a special connection, kind of like Shadur and Travis.
36 touchdowns in 16 games, by the way. This is going to be 4th down and short. You got to go for this, right? For the drama, at least.
Go for the drama, and also to send a message to Delaware that we're going to continue to be aggressive. Even though we have the young quarterback in, get him a nice, easy completion. They got 2 uncovered bubbles here.
Price turning forward, leaning forward. That's a Buffalo 1st down into the captain, Dylan Traynor. But this is a dimension we haven't seen a lot for the Buffaloes under Deion Sanders.
Yeah, their ability to lean on the offensive line, go for it on 4th downs, and trust that the big fellas up front are going to follow in Jordan Seaton's wake. I think that's going to be a weapon for them. They have to continue to fight the demons of trying to throw the football all the time. Commit to the run.
What a brilliant kid Seaton is on the left side, and all the work he's done. Oh, that's into big-time traffic. Gibson is smoked. Jamarion Calabodi was right in his pocket.
I want you guys to watch the amount of space that is out here as they make this throw and how it's closed so quickly by the defense. The outside receiver doesn't protect his guy on the inside by getting that block. Anytime you run these bubble screens, your receivers have to be strong at the point of attack. Right there, they weren't.
Yeah, it's a run, and that's not going anywhere. Welch is slid down by Noah Matthews, the transfer from Kentucky. There are some big-name programs represented on this defense for Delaware.
Yeah, and you're going to see Matthews right here. Got his eyes on the QB. They don't block you. Get downhill and aggressive. If you're going to pick the running back, you might as well tackle him. And he tackled him all the way to the ground there, Jason, which is something that defensive coordinator Manny Rojas talked about to his guys. Don't just go for the big hit. Get him on the ground.
They allowed 5.5 yards per carry last week after contact. The tackling has been much better so far today for the Fighting Blue Hens. 3rd and 11 for Lewis. Here's a free runner. He escapes, and now he will go down back at the 45-yard line. Gavin Mole was in there first to slow it all down, and Delaware holds the line.
Yeah, this is a really impressive blitz here. It's like an add-on. So right here, he's right there in the A gap. They're going to back him out and then bring him through the B gap. And just a really good job of Julian Lewis breaking out of that first one. But when you talk about a young quarterback, always be prepared for the blitz. They're going to test to see if you can get the ball out. And right there, he did break the tackle, but eventually got sacked.
What a call by Manny Rojas. As Jake Thaw is the returner, the former Michigan Wolverine, who might have put it best about what they need in this game, as that's good coverage by Colorado. Jake Thaw said we have Dan Lanning. It is 20-0 right now, Oregon leading Oklahoma State. As Delaware has it backed up in its own territory, Byron Ellison Jr. on the 1st down run. Oregon might be better than last year.
Yeah, I mean, for Oregon to come out and have this explosive offense after losing a guy like Dylan Gabriel at the quarterback position shows you that Dante Moore's decision to leave UCLA and go there to be developed was probably the right one. And you don't want to poke the bear. They're spending money over there because they want to win. And as Dan Lanning said, everybody else can save money and have excuses.
Ducks versus them on YouTube is going to be electric this week from their video crew. 2nd down and 7. Minicucci on the throw. He did get it away for a Delaware 1st down and then some. Ellison breaking tackles into the secondary down to the 38-yard line. What a run. It took Barnes to drive him down after 28.
Yeah, Joe Silver, he's right here. Going to sneak out of the line and then run what we call a burst route after he checks his protection. As a quarterback, the check down can be your best friend. I'm telling you guys at home, don't be afraid to get to that check down.
They're going to run here, and Ellison has to spin, and he is engulfed. French and Wade were both there. It's second down 11, loss of 1.
Oh my, I don't know why there, but the right tackle just decided not to block Arden Walker.
It's not a great idea.
They didn't have a SIF blocker coming in there to pick him up either, but if you let the defensive end right up the field with no one responsible to block him, usually it ends up being a TFL.
Loss of 1, Thaw in motion. Minakuchi looking that direction, looks off of him, and then takes a shot again. All the way back at the 35. There's Keaton Wade one more time, who was challenged and has already jumped into the fray today.
And this is part of what Robert Livingston is doing with his rushers. He's not telling them, hey, just come off the edge right away. They're contain rushing. He's contain rushing. Oh, he comes to my side. I'm going to get off that block, and I'm going to finish them down to the ground. One thing that we're seeing here from Colorado is they are covering down everything and taking away all of Nick Minakuchi's RPO easy throws. That's why his completion percentage is so low.
They chase Thaw here, third down and 12. Here comes Vickers. Throw to the sideline is too much. Incomplete. Makari Vickers was in there immediately on Minakuchi, and it's fourth down.
Right there, Nick Minakuchi got enamored with Jake Thaw on the, it's kind of like a push vertical wheel route. He had the basic underneath wide open. He's been so focused on trying to get the ball to Thaw because he is his best receiver and his third down threat. But sometimes you got to have big picture eyes so you can see the entire field.
That timer sped up as here is Locke to punt it away again. Former wide receiver at Michigan Tech with a line drive kick. And this return all the way across the 30-yard line for Quentin Gibson. Off the 42-yard punt, the Buffaloes will have it. Last year, Colorado's Buffaloes, a 9-win season, their first top 25 finish in 8 years at that point. They lose a ton of starters, go into the portal, but you can't replace Shedeur Sanders, now Heisman winner in Travis Hunter, looking for back-to-back winning years for the first time in 20 seasons.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And you talk about all the starters that they lost. Last year, they felt like we have the quarterback and the wide receivers. We don't have the offensive line and the running backs. Now they've got the O-line and the running backs, and they're trying to find who those guys are at wideout and at quarterback that can help them excel. But when you're replacing 4 of your 5 leading receivers from last year, it makes it very difficult to come out swinging right away.
It feels a little bit like they're playing whack-a-mole with the different offensive rooms. Downstairs, Alexa.
Well, the sidelines are tight down here, guys, but when Juju went out into the huddle, Coach Prime told us the third series that it was. The student section went crazy, chanting his name. Jordan Seaton, though, letting them know, quiet down. We got to help the 17-year-old. Don't be loud when we're on offense. We see him back out there with the guys.
He's been a winner, Alexa, where he's been in high school. 39-4 as a high school starting quarterback, and his first look for the Buffaloes down the middle, incomplete. He wanted Farrakhan, and he missed 3rd and 7. He got his mitts on it, couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, and this is actually a really good throw and read. You're going to see this ball come out of Julian Lewis's hands right over the backer. You got to make that catch. I know it's outstretched arms, but we always tell the receivers, if it touches your hands, man, you got to come down with it. I'm going to need 10 push-ups right there from Cornell Farrakhan on that drop.
Is that at halftime, Robert, or is it right now?
Right, I would want him right now.
Okay.
In the middle of the game.
You drive a hard bargain at quarterback. 3rd down and 7, they'll go empty. They've got to get to the 47. Lewis breaks forward, driven back, rolling to his right, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds, shy of the line to gain. Price and Mole following him, and it's 4th down for the Buffaloes. I wonder. I don't think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect them to go for it, but here they have a nice concept to the field, which is like a dagger concept. He goes to escape and then gets out, and this is an element of his game that no one's really paid attention to. It's not like Julian Lewis is, Tom Brady-ish or Peyton Manning in the pocket when it comes to his ability to use his legs. It's just not his calling card. But it was good to see him be decisive there. When you decide to run, go ahead and make it happen.
And live to play another day without a turnover, as we will get a whistle and a timeout by the Fightin' Blue Hens from Newark, Delaware.
Timeout. Delaware. Their first of the
We'll
half.
step aside for 30 seconds, like Delaware had 12 on the field or approaching 12 on the field. So they use the timeout, and it'll be a punt for Damon Greaves, the transfer from Kansas. And Thaw back to receive the punt for the Blue Hens. Damon Greaves inside the 15. We'll see where they mark it. It's going to be more toward the 20. Tomorrow, the NFL regular season kicks off in earnest as the Giants take on Offensive Rookie of the Year Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Niners and the Seahawks, other regional action of interest to our viewing audience, including the Bengals and the Browns. That quarterback room is fascinating. Shedeur Sanders just 45,679 yards away from Joe Flacco.
Jason, you're hilarious. And honestly, these two guys in the locker room together, on the sideline together, it reminds me of any given Sunday when you're talking about steaming Willie Beeman. And we'll see how it all plays out for those guys over there in Cleveland.
There's a pitch and catch for Thaw. He spins and gets away. Jake Thaw in a huge moment for Delaware, down to the 35-yard line. This is the moment he was looking for when he transferred from Michigan.
Watch him get up here, get jiggy with it, and boom! Run that in route. Hey, he's on my line. I'm going to get him off my line. Makes the catch and gets vertical. Whoop, whoop. Hit him with the spin cycle. These are the types of plays that they knew Jake Thaw could make. They're going to have to continue to make them. And right now, they got to get points on this drive.
That guy built a spreadsheet of all of the different teams that might want him. As Silver is undercut by McKinney. Jake Thaw built a spreadsheet. Was like, I feel like I'm undervalued even in the transfer marketplace. Got offered in February. Delaware waited him out for months to make sure they got him. Stayed with him for a situation and a platform like that one.
Because in this league, and when you play the D1 level, you have to have guys that can win against man coverage. Jake Thaw can win against man coverage.
And it's a timeout called by the Buffaloes.
Timeout. Colorado, their second of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
Delaware's second down when we come back after 30 seconds. Some frustration for Coach Deion Sanders over on the sideline.
Yeah, he's frustrated because he can't believe his guys in man coverage are giving up these types of big plays. They pride themselves in winning those one-on-ones. You got the greatest defensive back of all time. Of course, he's going to be upset about that.
Certainly so. Second down and 14 off the motion. They'll drop it off. What a catch by Kelly. Reeling that in, doubling back, switching back again inside the 25. Catch and run for Gainesville's Jakari Kelly. Man, oh man.
Jakari Kelly got some stickums on him. Whoop, whoop. Out in front, not afraid. Trusts his guys that are going to block for him. Doesn't pull his eyes up. Keeps him on the ball. And then after that, it's about getting the yak yardage. They got to get more plays where they get the ball to their guys in space and allow them to go out and make moves. It's worked for them on the first two plays.
Big time. 2-minute timeout. Delaware's driving here. Silver the tailback, Minicucci the quarterback for the Fighting Blue Hens. It is Silver with a big gap to run through, and he's slung down at the 15 by Carter Stoutmeyer, gain of 8.
I love the fact that they moved Silver right before the snap of the ball, changing the responsibilities of the defensive ends and the linebackers and how they fit the run. It's catching Colorado off guard, and Delaware's also not taking the shots down the field when they've got double press man coverage anymore. They believe they can run the football against this Colorado defense.
They just did right there for 8. Colorado with just one timeout left, little hesitation. Silver breaking outside, keeping his feet and getting doused at the 7-yard line by DJ McKinney. It's first down for the Blue Hens.
Wow. This is a beautiful run here by Joe Silver. Breaks the tackle on Stoutmeyer, coming from the middle safety position. These Delaware Fighting Blue Hens, I think they're not giving up. They think that they have an opportunity to maybe just maybe pull off the upset here, Jason. And it's gonna, if they get points here, you talk about momentum shift. Oh my gosh, this place will be quiet.
Especially with Colorado getting the ball out of halftime. Minicucci with motion for Silver. They'll take it to the far side, and Silver skates out of bounds inside the 5. Second down and goal coming up. Remember, there were the questions last week, and rightful questions, about Colorado's timeout usage late in that game on their drive. It would be interesting to see what the Buffaloes did with the ball if they got it back here. Delaware's trying to play keep away.
Yeah, they are trying to play keep away. They understand that getting points here is more important than anything. You want to get 7, but you got to at least get 3. I wouldn't be surprised to see them continue to keep the ball on the ground. Also, the quarterback run in this situation is also big for them with Minicucci.
We saw it last week in their opener against Deshaun Jackson and Delaware State. Thaw in motion. Here is a pitch. It is Silver turning toward the goal line and dragging Buffaloes in. Touchdown Delaware, and we have a game on our hands.
The winged helmets get into the end zone. Beautiful. Andy Reid would love this play call, the way that they executed this on the flip play underneath to Joe Silver.
I'll tell you what, they call it Henergy in Newark, Delaware. And there is Henergy at Folsom Field right now, shockingly to the locals. Silver away.
The motion to distract the defense was something that I can tip my hat to Ryan Carty in that play call.
He learned under Chip Kelly at New Hampshire.
So you're going to see the motion come in and go back out. It's going to get everybody on this side of the defense thinking, oh, they're trying to get the ball to Ryan Thaw. But then they're going to isolate this defensive end to the bottom of your screen. He comes up, boom, pitch it underneath. And because everyone was focused on Thaw, they're not really focused on stopping that run right up the middle. Beautiful play call. You can see the excitement from Minicucci and his teammates. They know, oh, it's 10-7? Ha, buckle up, baby. We got ourselves a game.
It's a 3-point game, and it's a 3-quarterback game for Colorado. Ryan Staub, who made his debut a couple of years ago, had one start against Utah, ready to sling it. It is incomplete. Anthony Crenshaw on the coverage. Second down. How about this? They go away from the first 2 quarterbacks with Staub.
Yeah, Ryan Staub is a quarterback. Played against Utah, played well enough for them to win that game 2 years ago, and he's a guy that the coaches believe in. Now, if you ask me, playing 3 quarterbacks when you're in a 3-score game, is that the smartest decision? It's not something that I particularly would do, but that's what they're doing.
He's going to roll and throw into coverage. Incomplete. Nate Evans, the NC State transfer, got his hands on it. It is 3rd down, Robert.
Yeah, it's 3rd down. You're going to see Ryan Staub come out. He's trying to make this throw, and the receiver has to step to that ball because the DB actually played that the way the receiver should have. But just the optics of this right now, only being up 10-7. You take out the quarterback in Caden Salter, who's led you to the points in the drive that he was in.
Now they're going to run. And they do down the sideline with Taylor. That's a huge breakaway for the Colorado Buffaloes. Delaware had 2 timeouts. They might have thought about stopping the clock and getting the ball back. Instead, the Buffs are at midfield.
And this is what Colorado needs to do. They need to run the football. The more they throw the ball, the more they're helping out this Delaware defensive line, who is undersized in this matchup.
It's a 3rd run of 20-plus. Stop to throw down the middle. Dropped it right in. First down for Williams. Tempo for the Buffaloes. They do have 1 timeout. And they will spike it after a juggle, 2 seconds off the clock. What a dagger here across the middle.
And it's really just a seam route, and you can see Ryan Staub take his eyes down the middle of the field, understanding, all right, I got to figure out a way to fit this in to where I'm over the KT say and underneath the high safety. As you see Williams, he runs vertical. He knows he needs to bend away from the safety. Staub takes him there. That's trust between a quarterback and a wide receiver.
Down to the 21. Taylor, the tailback. Staub throws it there. He's got wide open space for a touchdown. In a heartbeat, the Buffaloes respond with their 3rd quarterback.
third quarterback comes in the game. We're questioning, why are they making these decisions, Jason? He said, that's why. That's why.
I don't know that it answers the questions. It may raise more than it answers, but it's points, and that's what matters. 75 yards in 36 seconds.
And I want everyone to watch these backers. As they bring pressure, everyone forgets about Kalen Taylor out of the backfield. Good job by Ryan Staub of not panicking, stepping up in the pocket. And what did I say about that check down, Jason?
Take it.
Take the check down if it's there. If they vacate the middle and they're going to let you split the Red Sea like that, now Coach Prime is excited because his decision to put in Ryan Staub, the guy that they all trust and believe in, paid off in a crucial moment. We still don't know who Colorado's quarterback is going to be, but we do know that they got 3 of them that can play.
Yeah, we do know. We know who it is. It's everybody. It's everybody.
What's the saying? If you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1? Well, what's the saying if you have 3?
You have 3. And you have a lot of questions. But that was as impressive of a drive as they have had all year. It's our game summary sponsored by Pacific Life. Building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Well, the summary was different like 30 seconds ago. It was 10-7. Delaware was fighting back. Minicucci had played well, but Colorado now 13 first downs. They get a touchdown. I want to ask you, like, what? Just take this globally right now. What do you make of this for the Buffaloes?
Yeah, you've actually opened yourself up to more questions than you have answers because Caden Salter comes out and does exactly what you asked him to do. Use his legs, not try to just play quarterback, but actually play football. Julian Lewis, the 17-year-old, comes out, they come off the field in it, but then Ryan Staub comes out and runs a 2-minute drill, throws a touchdown pass. So we'll see who's going to start here in the second half.
It'll be very interesting going through the season. Alexa, what say you about this?
Yeah, well, Coach Prime heading into the locker room said that drive was wonderful. He told Staub when he came out, I'm proud of you. He's a quarterback that knows the system. The biggest burning question, I asked him straight up, who's going to be starting at quarterback here in the second half? And he told me the plan was each quarterback to get 2 series, which means Staub had 1, so he will start here, have his second. But after that, RG3 and JB will have to wait to see who's their quarterback.
How do you figure this out? How do you evaluate it, Robert?
Well, the honest question is whoever maximizes their opportunity. Yeah. Caden Salter got 10 points on his 2 drives. Juju Lewis didn't get any. Ryan Staub right now has 7. He has an opportunity to go get 14.
Great reporting by Alexa. It is Staub out of halftime, and it is a handoff off the motion to the 28-yard line for Draylon Miller. And it's second down coming up. Look, conference play starts next week.
Yes.
For the Buffaloes.
It does. And they're trying a bunch of different things. You just talked about Draylon Miller getting the carry out of the backfield. Oh my goodness, they cracking out there.
Welch got drilled by Scott. Jason Scott, the transfer from BC, with a big ol' hit. But the answer might not be at the quarterback position necessarily. It might be this decision to run the ball.
Yeah, and they just need a guy at quarterback that they know can get the ball to the receivers that they have that are so talented. Part of that is doing play action, and they have fully committed to running the football today and also last week against Georgia Tech. It's a new identity for this Colorado Buffaloes team, and I don't think a lot of people are prepared to accept that they are a running team now.
Third down and 6. Staub hopping in the pocket, letting it rip down the field, right on the money. Sincere Brown is gone. The legend of Ryan Staub grows.
Oh my goodness. Ryan Staub is maximizing his opportunities. Watch how well they protect him here. There's not a soul within 2-3 yards of him, giving him a clear picture, and the DB gets his eyes stuck in the backfield, and that's why Sincere Brown says, sincerely, touchdown.
Robert, how about the movement of Staub in the pocket? He was hopping into that throw. You talk about physical confidence right there.
Not afraid. Not afraid to let that dog hunt, and you saw that.
Katie Salter over there to celebrate with it. Williams told us that in her meeting with the Browns, she asked Joe Flacco yesterday, former Delaware quarterback, if they had something on the line. Evidently, a ride home from the facility is on the line coming up on Monday, and Shedeur lives like half an hour the wrong direction. So that's actually important to Joe Flacco. So 24/7, he needs a little comeback or at least some gas money.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
It's creative.
It's very creative. I thought they would come out publicly, you know. But maybe, you know, maybe Joe didn't have quite the confidence in his fight blue hands.
I don't think
I can't
that's
believe
true.
you. I can't believe that.
I wouldn't believe that for a minute. With the way this team's played at the FCS level, 6 national championships over the course of time, as Silver is the tailback. Minicucci whips it out wide on the swing pass, and Silver is tracked down. That is Martavius French on the tackle. Downstairs, Alexa.
Yeah, Coach Carty said his message to his guys in the locker room, one play at a time. I asked him, did he see that same confidence he saw all week long? He said, yes, we've taken a few shots. We took one before the half. We just saw there on the opening drive, but this team has faced adversity. They know how to handle it. They just got to stick together.
They have seen some big name programs in their past, both this team and he, with 5 straight years of wins over FBS teams when he was at New Hampshire. Here's a pass that's gone for a first down at the 42 for Sean Wilson, a sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia, gain of 15.
Another creative play call there. Bringing a man to the flat to pull the corner down, and then basically running like a vertical seam where he's able to throw the receiver down. The receiver has great body control to make that catch. But if you're Delaware, you have to come away with 7 points on this drive to get the momentum back in your favor.
Trailing 10-7, but then that drive from Staub. As here is Thaw, reeling it in. Thaw tried to keep his feet, couldn't do it. It's a gain of 9. Preston Hodge with the tackle, and it's second down. Preston Hodge, quite the story. He's a young man in that Colorado secondary who's become a new father and really has a new view on life, according to his head coach, Deion Sanders.
Yeah, Deion Sanders and Robert Livingston, their defensive coordinator, said that Preston Hodge, it changed his life. It changed his viewpoint because he was now doing it for someone outside of himself, someone that is of his blood and of him. I think that's a huge storyline for him in his career.
His son Ezra, and there is a big hit. Jeremiah Brown hammers Tyree. It's a loss of 2.
Yeah, you're going to see right here off the edge, ready to make the play, understands his responsibility, see ball, attack ball, get him down to the ground. That is picture-perfect defensive end play right there.
Can you tell he's a high school wrestler in the past?
Yes, I can.
It was there on tape.
No doubt.
3rd and 3. Delaware just 1 for 5 on 3rd down. Silver leaning forward. They're going to say he's down. He was very close. He was pushing forward, had the ball extended. They're going to say he is short. We have not seen a replay review instituted as yet. He's half a yard short.
No choice here from Delaware. They got to go for it.
As loud as it's been in here today. Minicucci on the run, crashing through for the first down. Off the motion from the tight end, Widoff. Delaware moves the sticks.
It's those plays right there from Ryan Carty in the play calling, knowing you're going to get man coverage from the defense. It's 4th and 1. They expand the formation out, make everybody cover down. Now you have a numbers advantage on the inside. Quarterback goes and gets the 1-yard run. It seems small and minuscule, Jason, but these are the types of plays that keep you on the field. So you have to, as a play caller, understand how to continue to attack defenses.
First down, Minicucci to throw. And that is on target. Wilson breaks free. Sean Wilson down to the 15. It's a gain of 31.
Watch Watch the running back right here pull this block off on the blitzing backer, Jeremiah Brown. Boom! Stonewalls him, gives his quarterback an opportunity to go out and drop a dime right over the defender. Oh my goodness, DJ McKinney right there was in very tight coverage, but there's no coverage for the perfect throw, and Minicucci found it right there.
He took a hit while he was making that perfect throw. Play action, Minicucci for the end zone, and that is incomplete. Carter Stoutmeyer with the coverage on Whittoff, the tight end. Stoutmeyer is dad Omar, longtime NFL defensive back.
Look how close this catch was. Gets a hand on it. Oh, just too far outside. Maybe Odell Beckham Jr. would have caught that one. Or C.J. Daniels from Miami.
We got a whole list of people making catches like that nowadays. Ellison in motion. They will give it to him. He'll turn the legs and drive down to the 11-yard line. Some toughness from those winged helmets for the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. Coleman to stop 3rd and 6.
You know, one of their calling cards is heart and havoc, and on offense, they talk about that heart ball security. So when you see these guys in close quarters, they've got two hands on the ball, but heart is something that this team has always had. It's why they've been able to play up. And now you're sitting here, 3rd and medium, knowing that you have 4 downs to get this first down. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to use quarterback run here.
Third down. It's a run. It is Ellison changing direction and gliding forward. It's going to be 4th and about half a football.
And Jason here, Colorado goes cover 0, so it was a called quarterback run, RPO style, but he made the right read and handed the ball off to the running back.
4th and 1, little precipitation showing up here in Boulder. Ellison, the tailback. Minicucci goes up to the line. Loud in that end zone. 4th and 1, Delaware. Ellison is stopped. Jeremiah Brown whips him down. Colorado holds the line.
They said they wanted their linebackers to see the ball, see the hole, and fill it. Watch Jeremiah Brown here.
You call it appealing?
Yeah, very appealing. Very appealing. Don't slip on the banana.
No. 3rd quarterback. Ryan Staub has been dynamic for Colorado. Here is Simeon Price on the run. 2nd down. We've seen all 3 quarterbacks today.
Yes. And the most important column here is this one right here. Points. How do you win games, Jason?
Points. You
score more points than the other team. And Ryan Staub has helped Colorado put up the most points in his 2 drives, and that's why he is continuing to be the starter at this point.
North of Los Angeles, West Ranch High School. It's a run for him. He can do no wrong. Ryan Staub Day continues here in Boulder.
Man, watch him. Running back is going to go here. The flat route from the receiver. He makes the read. Hey, they chase the flat. Guess what? I got them legs too. Ryan Staub puts the shoulder down to go get more yardage. You love to see it. Want to protect himself.
Yeah.
But I know that sideline's excited right now.
He was a track guy in high school. He can run a little bit.
Okay.
He threw for 455 in 1 game in high school in California. And he's going to throw it here. The swing pass, it is Price, and he is smoked by Khalil Ali, who had the pick 6 last week. Goodness.
Yeah, Khalil Ali coming downhill with a vengeance. That's what we call on defense. When you throw the check down as an offense, you got to close the distance. Close with 0 fear. He closed with 0 fear, made the play, got him down on the ground.
Transfer for Boston College out of Pennsauken, New Jersey. 2nd down, it is Price, and he's wrapped up by Gavin Mole. It'll be 3rd down for Colorado, and we'll see. Again, Deion Sanders said to Alexa in the 1st quarter when she asked about the plan for the quarterbacks, yeah, you'll see him. He'll be coming around the mountain, meaning Juju Lewis at the time, but it is a fluid situation.
It is, and listen, when you're trying to find out who your quarterback is through the grind, you're going to do some unconventional things. This is probably the most unconventional, but the quarterbacks just have to seize the opportunities when they're out there.
3rd and 9, pressure coming. Staub loads up, down the sideline. It is Brown again. Sincere Brown is feeling it.
Hey, man, Sincere Brown and Ryan Staub have something going on. You're going to watch Staub right here in the pocket. He takes a hit, takes a shot as he makes this throw with the guy barreling down on him. But look at that catch. Look at that throw in stride. Man, just keep running. Look at this hit. Boom. Oh, my goodness. Took him to the ground real hard.
He was a Campbell Camel last year in Bowies Creek, North Carolina. Swing pass has not been great for the Buffaloes in terms of spacing so far today. Draylon Miller setting up 2nd down. But Sincere Brown, USF to Campbell, first year here with the Buffaloes. 14 yards of play in Staubville.
Yeah, we don't want to jump to any conclusions here, but it does look like Ryan Staub might be the quarterback for this Colorado Buffalo team. The offense is playing with more spirit and more energy. He's stretching the field, throwing the go balls, and you can feel the confidence exuding from him right now.
On 2nd and 9, he'll roll to his right, he'll throw it that way, and Taylor is pushed out of bounds by Calabote. Now, the other thing about this, Robert, is you got 3 quarterbacks who are FBS quarterbacks. The transfer portal is a thing here.
Yes.
Like, you got to take care of everybody in this day and age. How do you deal with that?
I think this is kind of the reason that they played 3 quarterbacks today, is because they understood, hey, Ryan Staub is no slouch. Juju Lewis could be the future, and Caden Salter's been an all-star in college football. So they played all of them, not only to find their own quarterback, but also to give them some playing time. It's just right now things are leaning in the favor of Ryan Staub.
And that is a drop. Draylon Miller had it on his hands. It is 4th down for the Buffaloes.
You know, they've been trying to get Draylon Miller the ball in various ways, but here you're going to see him run this out route, and as he comes out of this, he's just got to look it in. Look the ball in. He's almost looking up because he wants to figure out what play he's going to make next. Always look that ball all the way in as a wide receiver.
We showed you earlier, college football is going for it on 4th down at a clip that we haven't seen maybe ever. 4th and 9 for the Buffaloes.
You got 4th and 9 up top. You got another one-on-one matchup that Ryan Staub has loved to utilize so far today.
That is Williams up there up top. As the play clock hits 0, there'll be a delay of game, and they're going to go ahead and punt it.
Delay of game. Offense. The penalty is declined. Still 4th down.
You can do that. You don't get those 5 yards.
Wait, they weren't.
You never know what you're going to get when the referee leaves his mic on.
That is very true, but they probably didn't take the yardage there because, you know, don't want to give him more space on this punt here. But now the question for Colorado is, what do you do at quarterback now? Ryan Staub, they stalled on the 3rd drive. Do you go back to Caden Salter? Do you go to Juju Lewis? We'll see.
That really makes you want to be a coach, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Yeah, so you can decide between all of those things. Good luck. Greaves on the punt. They'll send it flying toward the 15, and it bounces right at the 1-yard line and covered up by an NFL MVP and Super Bowl champion.
That is a very interesting question.
What a question. Here is Silver. Churning down to the 13. It's a 1st down. Stoudemire drops him, but Delaware undaunted again. Like, this is a team that's taken some punches today and responded pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's still the 3rd quarter. This game is not over, and if you're a Delaware Fighting Blue Hen fan or one of these players, you want to show that you have no quit in you, and I think that is something that Ryan Carty has instilled in this program. They're going to go hard until the clock hits 0-0.
Play action, Nick Minicucci on the roll, on the pump. He's going to run this, and he will veer out of bounds. I mean, the one thing that Carty said above all else about that team meeting last night is they know, this Delaware team knows, that it is better together than separately. And he said, frankly, you just don't get that a whole lot necessarily in the sport.
Yeah, you
nowadays.
don't. And these guys were talking about, like, some, you know, people love recruiting, but other guys just love football. And they are consisted of guys who just love the game, and that's why they're playing so hard.
Well, the linebackers say that. You know you have a very cohesive team. Silver is gummed up. That's no gain. And third down as Tawfiq Thomas made the stop.
And now, Jason, what I'm seeing from this Colorado defensive line is they're not allowing Delaware to move the line of scrimmage back. They're constantly playing in the backfield. We call those creating havoc plays, tackles for loss, being stout at the point of attack, and putting them in long down and distances. And right now, Delaware is 1 of 7 on their last 8 third downs.
Thaw in motion. He was in motion right around the snap. And this throw into traffic. Stoutmeyer was closest, covering the tight end Sessoms. Minicucci has to get spatulaed up again by Roshak, the right tackle.
Yeah, here you're going to see Minicucci is going to try to work to the field. Look at the pressure that they're putting on the quarterback, collapsing that pocket, and he just makes an errant throw right on the outside of the receiver, but they're getting to him, constantly making him feel them. That is a real thing for a quarterback. You might not get the sack, but if they put a hand on you, a forearm shiver, it means something.
Oh, ball on the ground, it's blocked. Blocked by McPherson. Ball still down, and the Buffaloes have it. Locke could not control the snap. McPherson got in there and batted it. Jeremiah Brown gets over to cover it, and the Buffaloes flip the field.
This was something that Ryan Carty said they didn't want to happen. Not just the block punt, but being clean on special teams. And as a punter, you got to make this catch easy and then get it out of there. But once he drops it, watch McPherson get the big old paw on the ball, and then it's absolute chaos to figure out what's going on. Bam! Oh, my goodness. I guess punters aren't known for having the best hands on the team.
He was a wide receiver before he transferred. He became a punter from wide receiver. He's typically very good at that.
Well, now we know why he transferred.
Staub, the quarterback. He's going to load up. He's going to throw into the end zone, and there's contact. KT Say will be flagged for interference against Joseph Williams.
Sometimes the quarterback gets saved by the bad pass and puts the defender in a peculiar situation.
Pass interference, number 7, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Peculiar how, Robert?
You're going to see right here, KT Say, the ball's behind the receiver, so he stops and he ends up getting there early. If this was a more accurate ball, maybe 5 yards higher on the back shoulder, KT Say probably wouldn't have been in trouble. But, hey, at the end of the day, put his hand around his neck, got there early, that's pass interference.
Crowbarred him pretty good. Price the tailback, 1st and goal. Well, hand it off, and that's going to lose a yard. He's swung down by Gavin Mole, the junior who led the team in tackles last year. 2nd and goal.
That's a really good job of Gavin Mole, not allowing Colorado's pre-snap shifts and motions to really throw off his read keys. He's been paying attention to these guards on the inside and can get tells on when they are running the ball versus when they are passing, and he shot that gap in a hurry.
Second down. They'll run it again. This is Welch, and he is slowed to a stop. Delaware fired up. It'll be 3rd down and goal. Trace Scott the third, the sophomore, with the stop. Colorado's got one more play before the end of the quarter, but look, this run game, which they need to believe in this year, would love to punch it in.
Yeah, and you want to just impose your will on this Delaware defensive line. Yeah, we can throw the ball and we can get the nice touchdown pass to Sincere Brown, but we have to be able to push back this undersized defensive line. And right now, Delaware is staying pretty stout at the point of attack on this drive.
3rd and goal out of the bunch. Staub keeps his feet, scrambles to the left, and down he goes. He is sacked by Trace Scott III. After taking over for an immediate impact touchdown drive at the end of the first half. That expanded the lead from 10-7 to 17-7. Now Alejandro Mata from 40 yards away to make it a 20-point game. And this is good. There is a flag in. There's a flag down. Officials are talking it over. Talking to Deion Sanders. They'll have the option of taking the points, which you'd imagine they would, depending on the call. Let's see what they decide. I think it may be a first down, reading lips here. Let's see what the call is.
Personal foul for leaping, number 2 on the defense. At the distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
They could have taken the point, certainly, but off the personal foul on the leaping penalty, they're going to go ahead and keep the drive going, and rightfully so.
Why take 3 when you can try to get 7? But you're going to see right here, they get Marshawn Pollard for leaping. And they could have got a bunch of guys there for leaping, but smart by Deion to take the penalty, take the first down.
Yeah, take the opportunity to punch it in. This is a run for Welch, and he is cartwheeled down by Dylan Traynor, the captain, the legacy linebacker for Delaware. His brother, a long-time Delaware Blue Hen of 52 games.
And Dylan talked to us about taking pride in being here and being allowed to see this Delaware program rise up to the Division I level. It's been a dream of his, following in his brother's footsteps. As you can see, the passion on his face with the eye black all over the eyes. He is an intense player.
It's a run. It's Welch carving the defense. 4-6 for the Buffaloes.
Just a really nice job by the offensive line here. Zone blocking all out this way. Back is going to take the ball and bounce it outside. Trust your, read it a hat by a hat. Boom. You find the gap and then watch him finish. Boom, through contact. Keep the legs rolling. I'm pretty sure he learned that one from Marshall Faulk.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Seaton, who he was running behind, by the way, left tackle. We asked him, we were like, hey, when you're at IMG Academy, he was talking about how he's getting his body right. Like, when did you feel good? He goes, 305. And looked down and was like.
You know, they talk about, hey, just because you played doesn't mean you can coach it. But when you got 3 Hall of Famers on your team and they're in the coaching ranks, these guys can coach it. They're getting the best out of their players at Colorado, and it's why they've been able to lift this program up so far.
Yeah, that kickoff goes through the end zone. There's yet another connection between Delaware and Colorado. It's Warren Sapp, the Hall of Famer, Rich Gannon getting sacked in the Super Bowl 22 years ago, and Rich Gannon is here propping up his Blue Hens. He was a punter initially, then became a quarterback at Delaware, future MVP, and this is a program that has an extremely proud tradition. They started as a wing T offense. The great Tubby Raymond helping install that, a Hall of Famer in his own right. They have multiple Hall of Famers who have coached at Delaware, as that is incomplete, too high for Max Patterson, the Rutgers transfer. It is their first year in the FBS. If you didn't join us at the top of the program, you have Marshall Faulk on that sideline, Warren Sapp on that sideline, Deion Sanders on that sideline. You have Ryan Carty on the Delaware sideline, who won an FCS championship with Delaware while Rich Gannon was in the Super Bowl 2003. Minakuchi to throw under duress. He gets it for Kelly, who's made 2 very nice plays, and a breakaway. Jakari Kelly down the field. There's a marker in. That's going to be a hold that's coming back. Kelly zigzags his way inside the 10. The ball is loose, and now off gets the turnover, the penalty won't matter. Colorado staying with the play. Jeremiah Brown all the way downfield to recover the fumble. What an effort.
what a play. You're going to see where Jeremiah Brown comes from.
Number 1, offense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Colorado.
Man, oh man, that is like a full field run. We'll show you when we... From his secondary spot, the senior from here in Colorado, former running back and wide receiver in high school, and he tracked down that play by the wide receiver Jakari Kelly. Now here is Caden Salter back into the game for the first time in nearly 2 hours. Price on the run. Let's go back to the fumble.
I want you guys to watch here. Ben Finiseth is right here in man coverage on this receiver. Jeremiah Brown is going to actually blitz, get collision by the running back, and watch where these guys come from to make this play on Jakari Kelly down the field. They're not even in the play, but guess what, people? Effort is between you. And Jeremiah Brown and Ben Finiseth there showed you exactly why people say that. Hustle leads to big plays, and they hustled on that one.
Taylor on the run. Let me ask you, how hard is that to do full field sprint like that? What are they feeling?
Well, it's 31-7 right now. Most people would say the game is particularly out of reach at this point. But they know that when they turn on that film, the eye in the sky doesn't lie. To be a linebacker, blitz, get picked up by the running back, and then sprint the 40 to 50 yards down the field to pick up and recover a fumble, to be a nickel and sprint 40 to 50 yards down the field to force a fumble, you know that these guys love football.
Create a new possession for Salter. Welch gets wrangled at the 30-yard line. Caden Salter has been efficient. He's 12 for 15 in the game. His long pass is 9. But you look at the numbers, you don't say, well, you know, that wasn't good enough efficiency-wise.
Yeah, what you asked Caden Salter to do coming in this game was use his legs. Hey, don't just try to play quarterback, play football. He's done that. So for him to have been sitting on the bench and watching Juju Lewis play and watching Ryan Staub play, you wonder what it does to him from a mental standpoint now that he's back in the game in the fourth quarter.
He's going to hold on to it, and that might not have been the right decision. Ball is loose. The ball is out. Delaware and the Blue Hens say they have it. Let's see what the signal is.
The quarterback was down before the ball came loose. Third down.
That is very fortunate. We'll see if it stands. He's waiting for a replay, and we'll see it here.
And you'll see when he gets ragdolled here on the tackle, does his knee touch the ground? Yes, it does. It touched the ground. So that means he was down as soon as this knee goes right there. Yep. He is down, so there is no fumble. And honestly, that would have been a nightmare situation if you're Caden Salter coming back out into the game after sitting for so long and making a mistake like that. Every single possession for these quarterbacks matters because it's apparent that they are in a quarterback battle.
That's playing out in front of our eyes here in Boulder. Stepping up in the pocket. Salter on the roll. There is a marker in. He's going to run, be dragged by an offensive lineman. And there is a flag down. 2 of them, actually. One back at the 25.
It's going to be holding on the center, McGill.
This would be the first accepted penalty against the Buffaloes today.
There are 2 fouls, both against the offense. Holding number 59, that penalty is declined. Holding number 77, that penalty is enforced 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay third down.
I know Jordan Seaton saying, man, why they accept that penalty on me? I don't want that on my record. Mine? So you got right here Jordan Seaton in one-on-one pass pro. Underhooks the neck, throws him down to the ground. That's always going to get a holding call. And then they actually called it there on the center, number 59 as well. So 2 holdings. That's what happens sometimes when you have a dual threat quarterback moving around in the pocket. You just got to let those guys go when you get into those compromising positions.
That was Ethan Saunders creating a havoc there. This is a screen. It's Taylor, and he is going to break a tackle, and he skates free down the sideline. Oh my goodness, what an escape. There is a marker down at the 42. People pay $400 in Vegas to see escapes like that.
Oh, what a play. They're going to call holding on the receiver downfield. Got a pancake, but he's holding his guy a little bit.
Holding, number 82, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay third down.
It's on Timmons.
That's on Terrell Timmons Jr. You see the broken tackle by DeKalen Taylor, and right here, arms on the outside, and as soon as Pollard tries to break away, that little tug is what they call, and then he tries to drive his feet and gets the pancake block. But anytime those DBs or linebackers start to reach, you gotta let them go, because the refs will see that tug of the jersey.
You see why they think of Taylor as such a heavy piece of artillery, though. And the breaking of tackles in his catching ability. There's a flag coming in. This has been a rather uneven series.
False start. Number 17, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Okay, so you got 3 quarterbacks. This stuff's bound to happen, right?
100%. Caden Salter's been out since early in the second quarter. Their cadences are different. The way that their voice inflects is different. You know, what they're looking for and how they play the game, how they see the game is different. This is the dangers of running a 3-quarterback system, and it's playing out in real time.
3rd and 11. Salter steps up, tries to run, and he is knocked down from behind. What a series for Saunders and the Delaware defense. That was Keyshawn Hunter that got in to finish that play.
Injury timeout.
You're going to see a loop here with a pressure there. This is a good job of just running the TE stunt by the defensive line and putting Caden Salter in a compromising position. But then it's just the finishing. When you get to the quarterback, you got to get him down to the ground. And right there, that's exactly what the Blue Hens did.
That's Quayer Price, who is... Do you have guests?
Yes, we have guests. I got to have you on.
See, you got there before I could even make a bit out of it.
Nah, don't need.
That's why I like you. You saw it coming. Thaw retreating all the way back to the 15, picks it back up and recovers down the sideline. Jake Thaw, 65-yard punt, just a boomer from Greaves. All right, here's our Aflac trivia answer. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. 3 institutions, alumni who are U.S. President, NFL MVP, and Super Bowl champion. I'm gonna bet one of them's on the screen right now.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Delaware, Michigan, and Stanford.
How about that? There they are for Delaware. Rich Gannon, Joe Flacco, Joe Biden.
Hey, man, I bet Rich Gannon thinks he sees Joe Flacco out there playing. He might think he have a couple snaps on him, too.
Why not? Stanford, Herbert, Hoover, and John Elway. Michigan, Gerald Ford, and Tom Brady for your next trivia night. If you were interested. On the roll, Minakuchi will tuck it and flick it. And it's incomplete. 2nd down coming up for the Delaware Blue Hens, the Fighting Blue Hens in their first FBS season.
No foul for intentional grounding. There's a player in the area. 2nd down.
This is their first ever game against the Big 12 as well. I mean, Ryan Carty told us they pulled him in just a couple of years ago, and they were like, hey, we're thinking about doing this. They let him coach. They weren't eligible for the FCS postseason last year. You see the FCS title that he won as a part-time quarterback in 2003. This is Kyrie Duplessis, a very talented wide receiver, getting his first catch of this game.
And they told us coming into this game that Kyrie Duplessis was their 1st and 2nd down guy. And for them to only get him a touch here at the very end of the game just shows you how out of whack their system became with Colorado's defense playing so much man coverage in your face defense.
4 years at Coastal Carolina for Duplessis. Minakuchi to throw too high, incomplete. Oh, McKinney nearly had an interception in 5 of 6. He had one in 3 straight coming in.
Yeah, you're going to see Minakuchi here off of the play action fake, just a little bit high, and DJ McKinney, almost got both hands on that one to catch the pick. You see Minakuchi like, oh my gosh, it's been all day. Maybe it's the altitude. Maybe the less air is affecting his accuracy. But at the end of the day, this Colorado defense is playing well.
Somebody in his face there. He will sling this to Thaw, and he navigates across midfield for a first down. I did ask Deion Sanders in our meeting, hey, ball skills, DJ McKinney? Deion Sanders in his prime, he said, don't do that to my kids. Don't do that. He's good. Don't do that.
He's good, but he ain't Deion Sanders good. Not many ever are.
Throw to the sideline, incomplete. He wanted Duplessis. And it's second down. You know, we were talking about this coaching staff and how much they've been together over the course of time. Ryan Carty was at Sam Houston State before coming back here to Delaware. He won a national championship at the FCS level during the COVID year. He was telling us yesterday his office was the press box at Sam Houston State.
Yeah.
The janitor would knock on the door on Thursday, be like, Coach, you got to pack up. He had to pack up every week because the high school played there. And they went and won a national championship. Like, you talk about adversity. 31-7 doesn't do much to him. Here's a throw. That is intercepted. It is R.J. Johnson, the sophomore for the Buffaloes.
Right here, Delaware is going to run what we call a Winston concept. It's double stops on the outside, and this is why as a DB, you always got to have your head on a swivel.
First down, Colorado.
Those can get to about 40 miles an hour, but these are the key losses this offseason for Colorado. The retirement of Ralphie Six in the same stratosphere as Sanders and Hunt.
Yeah, Heisman Trophy winner, and you know.
They should have a mascot Heisman. Don't you think? Here's Caden Salter curling to the outside. Would you be in favor, as somebody who's won the award, of a mascot Heisman?
I honestly would. I think it would be it'd be very interesting. Would you like to apply for that position?
I would like to apply for a vote. I wouldn't like to apply to be part of the mascot world. It'd be tough to let me be a mascot running around the field.
He would have to be painted in gold all day, you know.
Great. Glad Photoshop exists. Second down and 3. Here's a roll for Salter. He breaks it down, gets by Trainer, who recovers and takes him down. It's a sack for Delaware. Brandon Gorham was in there along with Trainer.
Yeah, you're going to see Caden Salter come out, and he's trying to just make a play off of the play action. Here's the roll. His eyes are downfield. But at this point, like, that's an awkward fall, but you got to make a decision to go. And right here, he has 2 wide open guys running down the field. Anytime you see a receiver throw his hands up like that, you know he's frustrated because he understands when he's supposed to get the ball versus certain coverages. And if him and the quarterback are not seeing it at the same time, it's a problem.
Salter tucks it and runs. Here he goes, still behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll get sacked by Nate Evans. And I believe I hear a boo or two here in Boulder. Well, look, you have 60 minutes. We said this off the top of the show. Delaware had 60 minutes to make a mark. Colorado's had 54 minutes so far to evaluate these quarterbacks. How would you place it right now?
Right now, based off the way that this game went, I would say that Ryan Staub should be the starting quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes.
Just who played best today, right?
He played best today, and we don't know if it's going to continue to be a fluid situation at quarterback for them, but we do know they have Big 12 play starting next week. And the way the team responded, the coaches told us repeatedly this week, you have to play the guys that you trust. And right now, it feels like the team and the coaches trust Ryan Staub. Yes, you see Caden Salter here make a play off of the boot, uses his legs like they asked him to get to that front pylon for the touchdown. Then Julian Juju Lewis came in, and he went 0 points. He had a nice throw there, but they had no points on any of the drives that he led. And ever since Ryan Staub came into the game, you just felt the level of the team rise with him. And as a coach, if you're Coach Prime and you're Pat Shermer, you have to feel that and make the right decision.
Minakuchi for Delaware to Max Patterson. Second down coming up. But look, this is sort of a house money game against Delaware. You're up 24. You have Houston coming up. The conference schedule begins very soon. So here's a throw to the sideline. It's some contact. It is incomplete. How do you say both? Like, how do you value both of these? Number one, this is a game against a team that's not in your conference, from a lesser league, some would say, a lot of people. But then you also have had a competition that Staub didn't win leading up to this first couple games. How do you weigh those?
I would weigh it out to say last week against Georgia Tech, Caden Salter missed some plays. He left some things out on the field. And coming into this week, the coaching staff felt like they needed to find the guy that would hit those plays. It doesn't matter who you're facing or who is on the other side of the ball. What matters is execution. Staub came out here today and executed. It's going to give the team and the coaches more confidence going into the next week. The question you have to ask yourself now, Jason, is what do the other quarterbacks do if Ryan Staub ends up being named the starting quarterback? What does that do to Juju Lewis's future? What does that do to Caden Salter and his mindset going forward?
And that's a question that you wouldn't have asked as St. Fleur gets to the 40-yard line. You just wouldn't have asked that question 15 years ago in college football. But the lay of the land is such that it's not only going to be you asking this question in a booth, it's going to be the quarterbacks themselves asking their own questions, as we'll get the foul here.
Hands to the face, number 89, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And as you said, Jason, the transfer portal is a thing. Caden Salter came here to Colorado as a one-year rental. This is his last year to play, one year to play one. How does he react after leading the team to 10 points and doing well in his first couple drives and then sitting for almost 2 quarters? How does Juju Lewis view this? But I think right now Coach Prime's responsibility is to the team, not just the individual players. And Ryan Staub certainly has a vibe about him, the way he played today and how the team responded to him.
It's a handoff, and that is Tyree, who's down to the 40-yard line. But again, you know, there are junction points in college football seasons. It's not all about right now. This is going to be an adventure, a journey, as the coaching staff called it, all season long.
Yeah, it is going to be a journey. And, you know, you've heard me say this phrase, don't play quarterback, play football. And I think sometimes when you have athletic dual-threat quarterbacks, like all three of these guys are, although Juju is more of a pocket passer, he can still hurt you with his legs. Oh, nice.
Minakuchi's throw is threaded through there for Tyree.
I think the important thing for the people at home to understand is that quarterbacking is what you do, but football is who you are. The game doesn't just need your arm, it needs your leadership, your resilience, your poise, your fight, and your ability to use your legs. Don't just play the position, play the game the only way you can. And I feel like of the 3 quarterbacks, Ryan Staub understands that. And the staff has the most familiarity with him as well.
Minakuchi hopping in the pocket and incomplete. Pearson was there with the pressure after his block punt earlier. Time now for Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. It's this combination. Ryan Staub, a career-high 2 touchdowns. A couple big connections for Sincere Brown.
Yeah. Coach told us coming to this game, we got to find our 7. What does that mean? The 7 guys that we know on offense that we can rely on. I do believe that Ryan Staub and Sincere Brown added themselves to the list of guys like Jordan Seaton and DeKalen Taylor, of guys that they can count on day in and day out, week in and week out.
Minakuchi, short set, got it away. It's Patterson. First and goal for Delaware, and this university has got to be proud with the effort today.
Yeah, you're just going to see a nice little play action fake, boom, throw it to the backside slant, easy money. Patterson makes the catch, gets vertical. Hey, man, we're still going to coach and teach you football here as this game winds down, because this Delaware offense is one of the most unique ones in the country.
We got 60 minutes worth of a telestrator. Minakuchi hit as he throws. Hughes got in there to pop him.
Yeah, and you're going to see Minakuchi trying to find something. Nothing's there. Gets double smashed there, hit, driven to the ground. We got to see how many times he's been hit today.
I was just going to ask you, how does he feel right now in your experience?
Oh, it feels like death. You're playing up, right? This is their first time this year playing against this level of competition. The game is moving faster. The guys are bigger. They're more ferocious. And this is just a welcome to Big 12 football for this Delaware football team.
Spiller gets dropped. Byard with the hit. 3rd and goal.
Man, you see Byard roll down late there and just explode through the gap. This Colorado team, we've been praising Delaware for playing all the way through and playing 60 minutes of ball. This Colorado defense is also playing a full 60 minutes of football.
That's a really smart young coach, Rob Livingston, who did a magnificent job turning this defense around last year. Minicucci, free runner coming, he got hit, and it's incomplete. It was Hughes again, blitzing to speed up Minicucci, and he took him down one more time. 4th and goal.
Yeah, they just all line up in there, and they say, guess what, guys? We're bringing the blitz, and you're going to see Hughes right here. Shoot the gap, not worry about who's blocking him, but focused on getting to the quarterback with aggression. Forces him to make a throw sooner than he wants to, and that's exactly what you want from your linebackers blitzing the QB.
This is a field goal of interest to some.
I get what you're putting down there,
It could mean anything. Every 3 points is interesting in college football. Here is Reed to boot it away, and this is no good.
Stings.
That's close. 2:33 to go. We invite games.
Yeah.
Some interesting moments in the NFL to start the season.
Yeah. A couple guys. One guy spitting on a guy's chest.
That is new.
Never seen that before.
Julian Lewis gets another series here. He'll hand it off for Welch. And, you know, you're kind of rocking a hard place here if you're Colorado. You're up 24, but you also want to see the kid throw it a little bit. How do you play that with the unwritten rules of football? As well.
I think if you really, as a coach, Salter, after being out for so long, you don't want to continue to use this game as an evaluation process for Julian Lewis. The game is over at this point. Don't bring him out here and have him make a mistake that's going to hurt. Develop.
3 quarterbacks for the Buffaloes.
4 drives for Ryan Staub, 223 yards and 21 points. At the end of the day, you got to trust what your eyes tell you as a coach.
Oh boy! Price off the spin, a whirlwind for a first down.
Hey, sometimes there's spin moves, and then there's spin moves right here. Oh, teaches that man how to do the cha-cha, keeps his feet up, and bursts out of it. Look at this pirouette. All right, he must be watching some figure skating in his spare time.
You know everybody loves to cha-cha-cha. First down. And that's going to be all. Just a knee for Lewis and the offense. Our game summary sponsored by Pacific Life Splash. Building confident futures for nearly 160 years. What an eventful win for Colorado today.
Yeah, very eventful win. And you have to tip your hat to Deion Sanders and Pat Shurmur and this coaching staff. They knew coming into this game, if they were going to play 3 quarterbacks, it was going to be highly scrutinized. And we were all wondering, what are they doing? But it does look like they found their quarterback. They trusted their gut, and it's a testament to all coaches out there. When your stomach is telling you something and your eyes know that it believes it, trust that. You could see the emotion when Ryan Staub threw the touchdown before halftime, and Dion holding him on the sideline, basically telling him, thank you for making me right. He was right today to play Ryan Staub, and I think he has to be right in playing him moving forward.
And before we go, before this kneel down, Robert, there's a chance they could need all three this year.
Yes.
If they're going to win a Big 12 title.
And that's where your coaching comes into play, because you have to make sure that Caden Salter and Juju Lewis do not turn it in for the year, because they might need them next week or 5 weeks from now. You never know.
Or in 6 days. Big 12 play starting in earnest. Ryan Staub